Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the top 5 best G-SYNC monitors that are available on the market for their true quality. I made this list based on my personal opinion and hours of research and have listed them based on popularity, quality, price, durability, user opinions, and more. If you want to see more information and the updated price, you can check out the description below. And also, make sure to subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Starting at number 5, we have the ASUS ROG Swift 32 inches 4K OLED gaming monitor. The ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM is the best G-SYNC compatible monitor we've tested. It's a premium 4K, 240Hz QD OLED that excels both in terms of gaming performance and picture quality. While you don't get all the features you'd get with a native G-SYNC monitor, it still works without issue with NVIDIA graphics cards, and you can get the full refresh rate range up to 240Hz over HDMI or DisplayPort connections. Motion also looks sharp at any refresh rate, thanks to its near instantaneous response time. It even has a backlight strobing feature to reduce persistence blur, but it only works at 120Hz without VRR. One downside when it comes to gaming is that OLEDs like this one have distracting VRR flicker with rapidly changing frame rates. That said, it isn't an issue if your PC can maintain consistent frame rates. Besides that, it also delivers remarkable picture quality with a wide range of vivid colors, highlights that pop against the rest of the image, and deep blacks in dark rooms. However, the black levels rise in bright rooms, making them look purple, so it performs best in a dark room. Its 32-inch screen also offers an immersive gaming experience, but if you find that's too big, you can also check out the 27-inch ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG27UCDM. It performs almost the same as the PG32UCDM and even supports DisplayPort 2.1 bandwidth, but choosing one over the other comes down to size preference. Moving on, at number 4, we have the ASUS ROG Swift 27 inches 1440p gaming monitor. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card and want the best G-SYNC monitor with native G-SYNC support, check out the ASUS ROG Swift PG279QM. The main advantage of getting this monitor is that it has features that G-SYNC compatible monitors don't have, like variable overdrive and NVIDIA Reflex Latency Analyzer. This lets you measure the latency of each device in your setup, so you can identify which sources cause the most delay. It doesn't have distracting VRR flicker with changing frame rates like an OLED either. However, there are some trade-offs in performance compared to the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM. As the PG279QM doesn't have an OLED panel, it doesn't deliver the same deep blacks with bright highlights, and its picture quality is much worse. It also has a lower resolution, so images aren't as detailed, but that means it's easier for your graphics card to maintain high frame rates. This is something to consider because the PG279QM also has a 240Hz refresh rate, and while it doesn't have a near instantaneous response time like the PG32UCDM, motion still looks sharp. However, it's important to note that you can only get the monitor's max refresh rate over DisplayPort, as it's limited to a max of 144Hz over HDMI. At number 3, we have the LG 27 GX790A B 27-inch Ultragear OLED gaming monitor. If you don't need a native G-SYNC monitor like the ASUS ROG Swift PG279QM and find the ASUS ROG Swift OLED PG32UCDM too expensive, an upper mid-range monitor like the LG 27 GX790A-B is a good alternative. It's a G-SYNC compatible monitor that's different from both ASUS monitors because it has an even higher 480Hz refresh rate for a smoother feel, but it has a lower 1440p resolution than the PG32UCDM, so it doesn't deliver the same sharp details. That said, motion looks crisp thanks to its near instantaneous response time, and you can reach the monitor's max refresh rate with any connection as it supports DisplayPort and HDMI 2.1 bandwidth. While it has an OLED panel like the PG32 UCDM and delivers deep blacks in dark rooms, it isn't a QD OLED, so colors aren't as vivid. However, WOLED panels, like the one the LG has, provide advantages over QD OLEDs if you're going to use the monitor in a bright room, because the black levels don't rise as much, and they don't look purple. Plus, its matte screen coating reduces reflections really well, and while it doesn't get bright enough to fight a ton of glare, it makes highlights pop in HDR. At number 2, we have the ASUS ROG Strix 27 inches 1440 POLED gaming monitor. If you're on a tighter budget and can't afford the LG 27GX790A-B, check out a mid-range option like the ASUS ROG Strix OLED X G27 AQDMG. While it has a 1440p resolution like the LG, the main difference is that it has a lower 240Hz refresh rate, which is the trade-off for getting something cheaper. It doesn't support HDMI 2.1 bandwidth like the LG either, so you can only get the max refresh rate with the DisplayPort connection. On the plus side, it's an OLED like the LG and offers all the fantastic benefits you can expect from one. Motion looks sharp at any refresh rate, and it has a backlight strobing feature to reduce persistence blur, but it only works with fixed 120Hz signals. It's also fantastic for HDR gaming, thanks to its deep blacks and the wide range of colors it displays, but it has some tone mapping issues, and not all colors are vivid. It's also one of the brightest OLED monitors, so while it looks best in a dark room, it gets bright enough to fight glare in a well-lit room too. And finally, at number 1, we have the Dell G2524H gaming monitor. If you want a simple and cheap display and have a limited budget, check out the Dell G2524H. It's much cheaper than the LG 27GR83QB, but one of the bigger trade-offs is that it has a lower resolution with a smaller screen, so it delivers a less detailed and less immersive gaming experience. It doesn't support HDR either, but considering the LG's limited HDR performance, this doesn't make a big difference. It's still good for gaming, as it has a native 240Hz refresh rate like the LG, and you can actually overclock it to 280Hz with a DisplayPort connection. It also supports GSYNC over both DisplayPort and HDMI connections. It even has better motion handling than the LG, as its response time remains consistently fast across its refresh rate range. Combined with its high refresh rate, this makes it a great choice even for competitive gamers. It's limited in extra features though, but it still has typical gaming perks, like virtual crosshairs and a dark stabilizer to help you see opponents better in dark scenes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions related to this product, you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.